All right, welcome back to Here's the Thing. I'm still Scott, he's still Drew, and we're still doing this show every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on All West New York Radio, and then podcast later. You can find it at allwny.com, and then click on radio and click on podcasts, and it's right there. Or just subscribe to it in your favorite podcast platform, whatever that is. I used to do a Google podcast. So at one point or another, Google has done everything.
Okay.
But then they're like, this isn't fun anymore, and then they just stopped doing it. And so there used to be a Google podcast, which was cool, and they stopped. There used to be like a Google News, and that was cool, and there still is like a Google News, but it's not what I feel like Google, like, they'll start doing something, and then like once they figure it out, they're like, all right, never mind, we're done. It's like playing a video game, and like once you know you can beat it, it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
So like once they know how to like do what they want to do, they don't actually do it. They're just like, all right, that's how that works, and then they stop, and then
on to something new.
Yeah, on to something new. But then they like never like make a full product. I don't know.
That would have to kill somebody that's like OCD.
Yeah. During the break, so Drew's going through his phone, probably looking for text messages from hotties, and I'm going through my emails on my computer. I get like, I kid you not, I have to get at least 150 emails a day, and not necessarily spam. Like I don't want to put them in my spam folder, but I don't always want to read them.
Right.
So like I will go through and just delete email after email after email. And literally, so during the break, I just went through and deleted, I don't know, probably 50 emails that I've gotten, since this morning. Kept a bunch, of course, because you can't delete all the emails. But
you could,
but then you miss out on important things, like this concert announcement. Just announced Kathleen Edwards, Video Vision, and the Arcadian Wild at Babeville, Tuesday, October 14th, day before my birthday. What's this? These are different. All right, these are all these different concerts. You ever been to Babeville? Do you know where it is?
No.
It's an old church on, what is that, on Elmwood, Delaware? I always confuse Elmwood and Delaware for some stupid reason. Lived in Western New York pretty much all my life, and I confuse those two streets frequently. But it's an old church that is now a concert hall, and it's pretty cool. Nice. So,
never heard of it.
Yeah. But they obviously send me emails with events. I get emails from other places with events as well. Let's see. Nope, not there. I get emails a lot from the Kaz, which is a relatively newish place in Buffalo that just does a whole bunch of shows. And then just other things, You can nominate a hero. Erie County Fair, nominate a hero. Drew, I think you should nominate me.
That says a hero.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You should nominate me.
For what?
For being a hero.
For what?
For existing. My existence gives other people hope. Because see, here's the thing. It's the name of the show. If I can be so bad at so many things and still survive, it gives people hope that they can suck at life and end up okay too. That makes me a hero. Like, not an anti-hero, but like a hero in my own right.
So a folklore hero?
I don't know. Speaking of anti-heroes.
I was confused on the logic here.
I don't have logic.
Right.
Speaking of anti-heroes, over the course of the past couple of weeks, I watched the John Wick series, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Have you seen any of those?
I stopped watching it, too.
Yeah. It just gets to be too much.
Well, no, because, I know they're different movies, but the premise to me is the same.
Oh, yeah. Well, and like, it even in the first movie, even in the first little bit of the first movie, it immediately passes, it passes beyond what is even reasonably plausible. And it's a movie, so you have some, some suspension of disbelief. But, between the four movies, I think John Wick killed 400, 100 people per movie. And they were all, could you imagine, 400 people are trying to kill you and you kill all of them instead? I don't feel like, and oftentimes it's 50 against 1.
Right, and a lot of them are supposed to be elite assassins, and everything like that, and it's like.
That said, I still enjoyed the movie, so.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was just all right. I was like, all right, I don't need to watch this anymore.
For me though, so when the first one came out, I was very skeptical about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't know, can Keanu Reeves pull this off? Now, mind you, Keanu Reeves had already done The Matrix.
See, I never got into those either.
I liked the original Matrix, and then it just gets weirder and weirder as it goes too. And then like the third Matrix, it's just basically like Neo versus like weird octopuses. I never understood the octopuses. The Matrix. I don't know. I think I took the wrong pill or something because it just gets weirder and weirder. But I do like the stuff that takes place like before they go in the submarine and do all that weird stuff in the later movies. I do like the stuff that's like on like quote unquote Earth where he's fighting against Agent Smith or all of the Agent Smiths and he's doing the bullet dodging and all that fun stuff. That's fun. But then it gets weirder for me.
Yeah. And it was like for me too, it was like all those like Halloween movies and all that, and it's like just a lot of horror movies in general.
Right.
For me, it's like, all right, you know what? I don't really have to watch this because I've seen one. I've pretty much seen them all.
Yeah, with a lot of horror movies, it is like that.
Yeah.
There are certain franchises that I do enjoy every movie of. Like did you ever watch any of the Final Destination movies?
See now, okay, I watched a couple of them. All right. I know, like it's supposed to be like crazy ways to die, basically.
Right.
I watched that show before, 1,000 Ways to Die.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, it's like, all right, I watched that show. It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. I really have an affinity for the Final Destination series. I have not seen the newest movie, which is Final Destination Bloodlines, which, from what I understand, like, is all people related to people from the earlier movies.
That's typically what Bloodline means.
Yeah. So, but I have not seen that one. I also like all of the Scream movies. Because you got to guess, like, who's Ghostface before the end of the movie, and they frequently do a pretty good job of hiding it. Whereas, like, in the Halloween movies, it's Michael Myers. It's always Michael Myers. In the Friday the 13th movies, it's always Jason.
Mm.
And in the, Nightmare on Elm Street movies, it's always Freddy. So
right.
you know those. Whereas with the Scream movies, it's
I guess it's a little
different,
a little different.
I kind of like that, and like I like that version of horror that's like there's like a tinge of comedy to it. I do not like, and I've seen them all, but I really don't care for them. The Saw movies. I don't like things that are just violent for the sake of being violent. And I did not like the Human Centipede.
What?
Did you watch that?
No.
Yeah, don't.
No.
Don't do it.
Well, to me, like, all of them have, it's like, okay, so there's this horrible monster or whatever, and these people are running and hiding, and trying to hide and escape this, and it kills a bunch of them anyways. It's the same plot in basically every movie. It's like,
I believe that Drew is talking about Godzilla.
Yeah, it's basically every freaking horror movie. It's like, and like,
now one I really liked. Have you ever seen Cabin in the Woods?
No.
Cabin in the Woods is amazing because it's super campy. It's totally unbelievable, but it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so for me, if I hear a horror movie of any sort, I have no interest.
You don't like horror? See, I enjoy horror movies in general. But there's got to be a twist to them. There's got to be something different about them. I do get tired of the Halloweens and the Friday the 13th, and they get kind of boring. But horror movies in general, I do enjoy quite a bit.
Yeah, for me, I have no interest.
Right.
Once I hear it's a horror movie or somebody says it's a horror movie, no, I'm done.
Huh.
I could care less.
Before the show started today, Drew and I were talking about the Into the Spider-Verse movies, which is the animated Spider-Man movie from, 7-8 years ago or something like that. And I was trying to explain to him how good it was. He didn't believe me. So if you also liked the Into the Spider-Verse, shoot us a message on X at all WNY Radio. And let us know what you thought of it.
Well, it's not like I didn't believe you. I actually thought it was more like DC and that type of multiverse. I didn't think it was an animated cartoon.
Well, it's still, part of the...
No, it's not. Stop going there. All right. Let's grow up here.
Wow. Hold on. Back the fuck up. Do you like any cartoons?
Yes. Oh, I love cartoons.
Oh, so grow up. What cartoons do you like?
Like Tom and Jerry, like obviously Looney Tunes, like
Sure.
yeah. But like yeah.
Do you have a favorite Looney Tune? I've always been a Roadrunner fan myself.
He was funny.
Yeah.
Funny. I think I just enjoyed it all.
Yeah.
Like yeah. But for me, yeah, Tom and Jerry were like huge.
What about newer cartoons like SpongeBob, Ed, Ed and Eddie, Angry Beavers? Do you ever watch Angry Beavers?
No, I was Family Guy, I would have to say.
All right. Are you familiar with Angry Beavers? Two Beaver brothers, one of whom was voiced by Nick Bakay.
Okay.
And
he's from Buffalo.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And the one brother was kind of evil, and the other brother was kind of stupid. So it's kind of like Pinky and the Brain, but with beavers.
Oh.
Or that's
so is it like a Dumb and Dumber type of thing? Like
kind of.
Okay.
But the one brother's not so much dumb.
Right, but kind of that concept though. But like,
is really so. It's Daggett and Norbert are the names of the beavers.
Wow.
And I like that one. Trying to think of other cartoons that there have been some real. Courage the Cowardly Dog was a great cartoon.
Scooby was
Scooby was an amazing cartoon.
I actually liked Spud McKenzie as well. Yeah.
That was a commercial.
Spud McKenzie?
Yeah.
He was a dog in a cartoon. I used to have the good old Welch's grape jelly glasses, and it was a cartoon.
He was the mascot for Budweiser.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't.
They made a cartoon out of it.
There was a cartoon.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I think you're lying.
Nope.
All right. I'm not even going to Google it. That's how sure I am.
That was a cartoon.
All right. Huh.
It was like a Spud. I don't know if it was Spud McKenzie, but it was like that. It was like that. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't remember the name. It was like.
I remember when I was younger, I loved the Smurfs and then the Snorks. Do you remember Snorks?
Oh.
So more often than not, Drew's just about 10 years younger than me. And more often than not, that age gap doesn't really play a factor. But every once in a while, there are things that happen in that 10 years that, so Snorks probably came out in like 87.
So I was 3.
So I'm 13, you're 3. That area is where we definitely find things where, like, by the time you were old enough to really pay attention, it was gone.
Yeah, like the one show I used to appreciate that was kind of like an animated show, kind of like, it was Dinosaurs.
Really?
Yeah.
Not the mama?
Yeah.
Not the baby or whatever?
Not the mama.
Yeah.
I used to enjoy that show.
All right. It was not my favorite. I thought it was weird.
Yeah. Oh, it was weird, but yeah, you just have this baby dinosaur just saying, not the mama, not the mama, not the mama, and then takes a frying pan and smacks people with it. Like, I thought it was hilarious.
Huh. Yeah, I do remember that show. I watched it a couple times.
But that's that age gap thing where it's like, yeah.
But so that was out basically at the same time as In Living Color, right?
I think so.
I think they were both on
they
Fox.
were like 90.
Yeah, like late 80s, early 90s.
I want to say like early. I don't think it was late 80s. I think it was like 90, 91, 92-ish range.
Yeah. And so that is the same time as In Living Color, which was amazing, which I still wish existed.
Yeah, I didn't really get to watch In Living Color too much, because it came on later as I was younger. So like, I really actually started appreciating that when I was more in high school, and watching the reruns and everything like that.
Right.
So yeah,
and all the 17 Wayans brothers.
Yeah, and then
then Jim Carrey,
Jamie Foxx,
and the Fly Girls.
J-Lo was a Fly Girl.
Was it J-Lo? Yeah, I knew somebody was a Fly Girl.
Yeah,
and J-Lo was a Fly Girl, and Paula Abdul was a Laker girl. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Again, just goes to show you can come from nothing and be amazing. That's why you should vote for me for hero.
Okay.
All right, Drew's just staring at me. Drew, I don't have anything else to talk about.
I don't know. So who asked the question last time?
Oh, I think I did. I don't remember what it was. I think we each asked each other a question.
We did, yeah.
You asked me about my stadium memories.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what I asked you.
So then it would be actually my turn then, because...
Right, because last week was my turn, and you asked me a question as well, and I'm like, why are you breaking the rules?
Right.
Yeah.
I created the thing, so why not break them? I can do whatever I want over here. All right. Let's see. Okay. Did you? So with that post I sent you about Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Like, because they have that one in like Buffalo that it's like the retro arcade game,
right,
and everything like that. So like, what do you think? How do you think it's going to work?
I think so what Drew's talking about is Chuck E. Cheese is starting arcades for adults, and it's called Charles Cheese. I
think so. Yeah.
Charles Fromage. I don't know what it's called, but it's Chuck E. Cheese for adults, basically. Hopefully they have better pizza, because the pizza at Chuck E. Cheese.
They're going to be selling alcohol there too.
And if they have the alcohol, they don't need the better pizza. You won't know the difference.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I love Dave & Buster's. I still love a good old arcade. We've got a couple in the falls that I like. I love arcade games, as you can see, from being here in the studio. I have a Pac-Man game. I have a Centipede. I have my Nintendo Switch sitting on the desk in front of me. So I do enjoy video games. I really enjoy older video games. My favorite ever is Dig Dug. So a Chuck E. Cheese for adults with retro games, I think could do really well.
So do I. I think it could as well.
Yeah.
But then, what's that place in Buffalo? Like
Masuda Chow's?
Yeah.
Masuda Chow's is amazing.
Okay, right. So I'm wondering if it's going to be like that, or if it's going to be just actual console retro games.
I'm imagining that it'll be like Masuda Chow's, except instead of Japanese food, it'll be, a standard American fare.
Right. So like Pup Hut, like the arcade in there.
Right.
Like I'm wondering if that's what this concept of like
right.
Chuck E. Cheese is going to be.
But like Masuda Chow's, they have some great old. First of all, they have like 10 pinball machines.
Yeah.
Alan loves pinball. So we've been to there on a few occasions.
I played a Terminator 1 and a couple.
But they also have like Spy Hunter, which was one of my favorite games growing up.
I played the Bond one, the 007.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they had Elevator Action, Burger Time, like old school games.
The Shack one.
Yeah. Do you remember Dragon's Lair?
No.
So Dragon's Lair was, again, it's that time period that probably mid to late 80s. Dragon's Lair was a game where you are a knight, like Dirk, I think his name was, and you've got to save the princess, but you've got to kill the dragon to get there. At the time, the graphics for this game were amazing because they did cartoon-style graphics.
Okay.
So it made it look, I can't say more realistic, but it looked less awkward than most other games. Because the pixelation wasn't as big of an issue. From what I understand, they're making a Dragon's Lair movie, which people of a certain age, my age, late 40s, early 50s, are really going to love. So I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah, because I think I don't want that to be one of those things that's here and then all of a sudden, flames out.
Well, my concern, honestly, is that it'll never come to Buffalo.
What, the Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, because they're only doing like a dozen, and Buffalo's not going to be in the dozen. You know what I mean? So they've got to get to 50 before we get one. And I don't know that's my concern, is that's never going to happen. All right. So
I've seen this.
Yeah.
I've never played it, but I've seen it.
But like the graphics looked like this, which at the time was incredible.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. I've just never played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a fun game.
It didn't sound familiar though, and then once I seen the picture next to it on the left.
Yeah.
Once I seen that picture, I
remember playing this game in the arcade at Beverly Lanes all the time.
Okay.
Because I was in several different leagues at Beverly Lanes, after the league would end, I'd go play video games and call my mom, and she would come get me. And
now, what was the arcade name in the Boulevard Mall? You remember?
it was just Bally's, wasn't it?
No, the arcade?
Yeah, wasn't it Bally's?
I don't remember.
I think it was Bally's.
The one with Aladdin's Castle?
Right. Aladdin's Castle was in
Was that the Summit?
Mall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember what the one in the Boulevard Mall was.
So I think that it could do well. I think marketing's going to have something to do with it. But I don't think we're ever going to get it. I don't think it's going to do well enough for it to expand fast enough to come to Buffalo.
Yeah. So they just said like older games, but does that mean like retro? Like that's what I'm like.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Give
weird.
Me Hubert, man.
It's weird though, like because like what is considered old?
Right. I rewatched Pixels the other day.
You were telling me, yeah.
And it was better than I remember it being. One of the cool things is that Hubert's in it. I like Hubert, so Hubert was a fun game.
I didn't play it.
No. It's that time gap.
It was, what was that one game on PlayStation? Bandit?
Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember playing that. That was
Crazy Frog?
Crazy Frog.
You remember the Crazy Frog game?
Hmm.
It was like a racing game. Anyway,
Yeah.
look it up.
Crazy Frog game, okay.
Yeah. All right. I think that's going to do it for us. Drew, thanks for coming.
All right, yeah, cool.
We'll do this again next week?
Definitely.
All right.
I got nothing scheduled. I do.
Actually, I do too.
I do too.
All right. We'll have to
I have a tournament.
We'll have a
Euchre tournament.
Euchre tournament.
Yes.
Jerk. All right. We'll have to figure out when to do this because I am busy on Monday and Tuesday next week. So, anyway, you don't care, and that's fine. You've been listening to Here's the Thing. He's Drew. I'm Scott. One way or another, we'll be back next week. And
Later.
We'll see you then.